Hello and welcome to Time Sweeps. Today we're grounding our topic a bit and taking a digital step back. I'm your host, Kotor Remake.
I'm Wyatt Zirkle.
I'm Gary Monig, and this week we are talking about video games, or more specifically, what titles we are most excited for this year, or upcoming years, rather.
Okay, so I think the PlayStation thing happened. What was it, last week or?
Yeah, it was it last Friday
I think
or sometime last
it was
week?
last Thursday. We didn't talk about it at all because I think we were like you two were really into the topic. I kind of took a step back because I didn't really know much about it. But I really wanted to talk about it in this week. So, damn, that PlayStation showcase, that was wild.
A lot of big games were announced at this
They
year's.
they really hit it out of the park. I mean, opening with the Kotor remake.
Right.
What? I haven't played KOTOR yet. I really need to. But I played some of the old LucasArts games like Jedi Knight. I
Yep.
played all those. So I really need to get into KOTOR. But KOTOR, for those you don't know, is Knights of the Old Republic.
I got into it late. Like, it wasn't around until around like high school. I downloaded the game.
Yeah.
And I got really into it. And then my stepdad was like, "You're just now discovering this game?" I was like, "Well, I've always known about it, but I just never have played it." And my whole goal, the whole time I was playing it, was to get a green lightsaber crystal or a green crystal for my lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being like I got it, and I was really happy, and then I had no idea what to do, so I just stopped. I stopped playing.
You reached your goal, so what else to do?
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like when you play on like Minecraft for a long time and you beat the game, but and then when you have no purpose, you're kind of like, I guess it's either time to start a new world or just play a new play a new game.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited because all this PlayStation event really gave me hope for the future of video games, because I'm just really tired of this battle royale what am I trying to say? Repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Repetition. That's a good word. I'm not a big fan of battle royale. I do not like that game mode. But if you do, I'm not judging you for it. Just it's me and that game mode just don't really get along very well. So
I mean, we've played Warzone, but
yeah, but we never played war. We played
Yeah,
Plunder.
very rarely did we ever do the actual.
yeah.
So I don't know. Everyone who's asked me if I wanted to play a game, I'm just like, we just need a new game to just come out, so
Yeah.
everyone can.
So that way there's more.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
after the last year, a bunch of games just weren't able to.
Right. So
Especially after Cyberpunk happened, and a bunch of people were like, "We don't want this to
remember how
happen to us."
hyped that game was gonna.
Oh my God.
Was?
For years.
That game was so hyped for, and
I still want to
it
get a
came out
copy.
and was.
I mean,
PlayStation was doing refunds on it.
Yeah,
a
they
couple
took it off
months
the
ago.
game store.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it on Steam, and it's decent. I played a little bit of it. I haven't gotten back into it, but I've played a little bit of it, and it's actually okay. It's just it is nowhere near what they wanted it to be.
No, they just didn't get the
Yeah.
following that they expected it
It's
to be.
because it was missing so many pieces.
Mhm.
If it
Yeah.
had everything ready at the beginning, it would have been.
And
just
it's
fine.
like how wasn't it ready? Because it's not like they were rushed to get this game out.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't it take the long side of 7 years?
Yeah. So I don't know how it wasn't.
It
Everything
sounds like it was
didn't come out on release.
there was some kind of problem with the production or something that they were like, how did we oversee this?
It's
And
like every time they fix something, more problems would arise from that. So
it just sounds like an entire tower fell.
So enough about games that that disappointed us, and games that were excited for. I know we're all excited about the new Marvel games that PlayStation has announced, and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2.
I was a bit Connor was the only one of us who had a PlayStation, PlayStation 4 for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then shout out to my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law. It's his birthday this weekend. Shout out Jordan. But they gave me their old PlayStation.
Weekend of the episode coming out, or like weekend of recording?
Like this week, like the
recording.
Yeah, of recording. So like, I think so. Yeah.
When this episode comes
Oh,
out,
yeah.
happy belated birthday.
And also, happy birthday to my mom.
Yay! Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's my mom's birthday when we're recording today.
Today?
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday if you listen to this.
Also, Wyatt, you need to have someone to shout out for a birthday.
I don't know if I have anybody coming up soon.
Just the
In September.
just the closest
Happy
one.
birthday,
The closest
Guppy.
one? I think it's in October.
What is it?
No one heard my joke?
Did you say Guppy?
Guppy from iCarly. Remember
Is it his
Gibby?
birthday?
No.
His brother. He would
No.
only say happy
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday. Oh, yeah, it was that one episode, the 4th of July. Every fourth word. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Connor was like the first one to have, like, not the first one, the first and only one for a long time to have a PlayStation. And that was the only way me and Wyatt could play Spider-Man, if that's my understanding.
Yeah.
So, like, we would be going over to Connor's and be like, hey, instead of going out and hanging out, let's just play Spider-Man all night.
Yeah.
I would sit there and just watch.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Like they mooshed off me for my VR. They mooshed off me for my Spider-Man.
Your system, your games. I feel bad when I play them.
It's okay. I let you guys play them. It's a blast.
I was gonna say,
I had to
I
stop
really
myself from
want
saying
to
the
find
F word.
a second.
Okay.
I really want to find a secondhand PS4, so that way I could get the game for myself.
Well, and then I got my sister and Jordan's old PS4, and then that was the first game I bought when I
Spider-Man.
I got Spider-Man and God of War.
Hold on.
I haven't actually played God of War.
Oh my
yet.
God.
Connor, do you have Miles Morales?
I do not.
I'm not gonna get that game until I get a PS5.
Yeah.
Because
me
I want
neither.
I want to play it on PS5.
Yeah. I wanted to play it how it is meant to be.
Like I've seen it. Like I know what it's about because I watched Jacksepticeye play it. But like when I play it, I want to play it on PlayStation 4.
And also, I mean, it'll run about as well as like Spider-Man PS4 runs on a PS4 because I think it's the same engine. They just changed the lighting engine.
Yeah.
For like ray tracing.
Well, and see, I'll probably the first couple games I'll get will probably be Spider-Man. When I get a PS5, will probably be Spider-Man remastered, Spider-Man PS4 remastered to PS5, and Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, that doesn't come with the Miles Morales copies anymore. Damn.
So, that's probably what I'll do.
It should come with the Miles Morales copy.
But at the end of Spider-Man PS4, we got a Venom
Yeah, we got to see where Harry Osborn was the whole game.
Yeah, he wasn't overseas on like a
vacation in Europe
or like a study abroad program. I think is what they were talking about. Maybe I might be wrong. It's been a while since I played the game, but we got like a brief glimpse of Venom, and now we get to see what he actually is gonna, or at least his face is gonna look like in this new Spider-Man trailer. Everyone's saying that he's going to be the main villain of the game, but I'm not so sure. Like, I'm thinking it's going to be like a Harry Osborn, like, uses Venom to, like, do his bidding, and then, like, a big chunk of the game is going to be saving Harry from Venom.
Or you mean Norman Osborn using
What'd I
Harry
say?
Venom?
You said Harry.
Harry.
Oh, I meant Norman, sorry. Green Goblin and Venom working kind of like his puppet of things, and then you're going to save Harry, and then you're going to have to fight Green Goblin. That's my prediction.
I'm thinking Kraven is what's going to be seen as the overarching villain, and then we're going to see that the master plan is actually Norman Osborn.
I mean, it does make me sad that we won't get to see an Eddie Brock in PS4, but
that's another thing. I don't know if I feel like we might see Eddie Brock, but
I always
feel
liked,
like we're starting Venom on Harry Osborn since we're not starting Venom on Spider-Man the way it
I always
should
liked the Harry Osborn as Venom, like the Amazing
It also
the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, like they did a good job with that. Like I liked it. I
mean,
enjoyed
it does make a little more sense. But like I also grew up watching the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, and if you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's amazing. It was cut short because of freaking studio politics, but that is such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. It's it in the 1990s Spider-Man. Ooh, those.
Yes. I went on a long road trip somewhere, and that's what I watched was the original animated Spider-Man series.
Dude.
The original or the 90s?
The one that's on Disney Plus.
The original is also on Disney Plus.
The 1966 one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is the original Spider-Woman show.
I forgot there was a Spider-Woman show.
But yet they won't add Spectacular Spider-Man because of studio
I think
problems.
they might whenever they add all the
See, I don't know why those
movies.
Cartoons are allowed to be on there, but like we can't have
because
the movies.
because those cartoons aired on Fox Kids.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Where did Spectacular Spider-Man air?
I mean, it aired a little bit on Disney XD, but it also aired on CW for kids.
I was going to say, isn't it older than Disney XD? Didn't it end before Disney XD even existed?
It got a second season on Disney XD.
I thought Disney XD didn't even exist yet.
It was Jedi. This is a story for another time. It's. I did a lot of research, but like.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So what's your predictions for the Spider-Man PS5 game?
Mine?
Yeah, yours.
I mean, I think it might kind of be. I mean, both Miles and Peter in the game, so you're obviously going to be playing both characters.
Right. Which I'm really excited for because that's something we kind of like never seen before, like, them from the same Earth rather. Like we've seen Peter and Miles work together, but they haven't lived on the same Earth before. So
yeah.
I'm really excited to see that.
Well, actually, it's in the newer cartoon, but
Not exactly, because he was still from like another Earth.
no, not in Ultimate.
Oh, that new show.
The new show.
Yeah, the one that like everybody's like panned.
I mean, it's okay.
Is this the one where he
it's
looks
awful.
more like Tom Holland?
Well, it's the one that it's like he goes to a weird like school for gifted people. I don't know. It's weird. But
well, I'm excited to see it
Yeah.
because I haven't seen that cartoon, so it'll be the first time, and probably for other people our age and older, it'll be the first time they're being able to like. And I'm sure it's happened in the comics somewhere, but
Yeah, they've technically like merged the Earths and stuff since
Right.
like, the last time they
Yeah.
did Secret
so
Wars.
they are
It's
in
not
the
a secret
They
when you
are in
shove
the
two
same.
Earths at each
They
other.
are in the same Earth now. But okay, so I feel like it'll kind of be like a GTA 5 type deal where, like in free roam, if you're not on a mission, you'll be able to switch between them. Like when you beat the game, obviously you'll be able to switch between them unless one of them dies.
I really hope they don't do
I
that.
really hope they don't kill Peter. If
Yeah.
they kill Peter this early in the game, I'm gonna be pissed.
If they kill Peter, because like that's usually what happens. Peter dies, and then Miles has to take up the mantle. But like, just keep doing your own thing, PlayStation. Like Sony, just keep doing your own thing. Like, just keep them both alive and have them be like
I think
awesome together.
I think we'll see Peter die at some point, but it won't be in this game.
Okay.
That's too early.
If
I'm
they kill
thinking
him,
3.
the 3 would be a good point because it would like.
Then it's a trilogy.
But yeah,
I don't know, man. I like the idea of them both being there. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be what they do because that would also get you more brand recognition because people want to play as Peter Parker.
And Miles, like, well, and see, there's either that what Connor's saying, which would
why kill when you can have both and make more money?
right. Looking
And
at
when I
it
say
from
people
want
to play as Peter Parker, it's only because Peter Parker's older.
Right.
There's more people who are like, oh yeah, Peter Parker. This isn't a thing against Miles Morales because I want to put this out there. I'm not against Miles Morales. I love Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Well, like, Into the Spider-Verse is one of like my favorite Spider-Man movies.
All time, like it came out right out the gate and became amazing.
And like
Love the original comic run from Morales.
oh my god,
too.
because I really enjoy.
I have a
Yeah.
trade paperback of that.
Yeah. So why I love Miles Morales is that like, you know how like a lot of like around that time a lot of comic book writers and stuff were like making certain characters black or like just I mean representation's good. I'm not saying it's not.
They are taking pre-existing characters and just changing them around just
exactly.
a little bit.
Just
Right.
just for the like just for the sake of it. But like they made Miles Morales his own character.
And see, that's why I think Miles Morales has lasted so long, longer than those other characters because
the reason why he's also
he's cool by himself. You know,
he's an equal.
right.
He's not a sidekick.
Exactly. Right. They did it so that he's not Black Peter Parker. He's his own person.
Right.
He has his own troubles. He has his own life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't just it's so,
no,
they did
I
the
fully
character
understand
so
what you're saying. Right.
well,
He's
and they
his
made him
own
different.
Spider-Man.
Exactly. Right. So that I'm really excited where they take the story
Mm-hmm.
and how they flesh it out and I'm really glad they're not just making Miles Morales a sidekick.
Right. Well, and see, I'm really worried that they're gonna do a kind of a Last of Us God of War thing where he's just there, and I would hate that because you want to play as both of them at some point.
Yeah.
You just don't want to have a kid just there to jump on people, So the stealth missions, for example in PS4 where MJ is stuck in the train station and you're sneaking around and I'd really like to see a portion of the game where you could switch from Peter and to Miles and get two guys at the same time.
Arkham Knight.
I was gonna say, you mean like an Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight. Oh, that would be awesome.
Right.
That'd be. I can't say that word. That would be awesome.
Right. That's what I want to see.
It would be par for the course, especially because it's basically just
because that's what people
Spider-Man Arkham City.
People were comparing.
Boys,
Spider-Man.
I'm editing this. That would be awesome.
Well, so a lot of people were comparing Spider-Man 1 to Arkham Knight. Oh my God, this is just Arkham Knight, but it's Spider-Man. So cool.
And that's what it felt like when I've played it. It just feels like stepping in to controls that I'm familiar with.
Well, yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna say something probably controversial. I think Spider-Man controls a little bit better than Arkham.
I'd say only because it's newer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That it's probably because it's newer,
and since they can look at what came before, and then this rhythm-based combat's still missing something.
Yeah, well,
it works for it because people have grown accustomed to it. But what if we adjust it to us?
Mm-hmm. And it's just you could obviously tell that game is a big inspiration to the Spider-Man PS4.
If somebody said that it was not an inspiration, I would slap them. They're lying to my face.
Right. It's just you can tell by the gameplay,
the way the controller feels, the way it controls. It's like gliding through Arkham Knight.
So, also, do you think the passing of Aunt May kind of replaced, Peter dying and Miles coming up? So, at the end of the PS4 game, Aunt May dies. And do you think Aunt May dies and Miles, replaces her in, Peter's life, kind of?
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Instead of Miles replacing Peter and MJ in Aunt May's life.
Oh,
he could only have a certain amount of people close to him before someone dies,
Yeah,
before there's too many.
Mm-hmm. So maybe
tighten the circle.
Right. He
narrative-wise.
fills the void of Aunt May in the
Shit,
circle.
What? That's a really dark way of looking at it, but
it's the way stories do.
Yeah.
Every so often when they have too many Batman characters, they kill off 5 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, they never keep just one specific one dead. But we're going to get off topic if I touch that. Unless I bring up the next portion.
Go for it.
Gotham Knights.
Yes.
I'm excited for that, but not Jason Todd. You know why. It's because he's Jason Todd.
Avery is going to be so
Avery's going to kill you. Avery's going to kill you.
I have more sympathy now for him after watching the Titan show because I don't think that kid does the character justice.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't like the character, I still feel like he deserves a little bit better than the representation that he does get through social media and pop culture that isn't the direct comics.
Right.
It's man, I used to not like you at all, but now it's now I just feel bad for you as a comic character.
Right. I prefer Nightwing.
You should be
enhanced.
I prefer Carrie Kelly over Jason Todd.
What's Jason Todd? Here's why.
Well, and Tim Drake is my favorite Robin.
What's
What's
funny is that
he did the best job.
he was people voted to kill him
Yeah,
That's
that was a
funny.
Darn right you did.
That, okay, so
I forgot about that,
That was
until you
another
said that.
big
Yeah,
cause for Infinite Crisis
So,
too.
they
yeah.
let
Was
the
Jason
fans
Todd.
vote for
they
him
let
to
the
die or not.
okay, so I can't remember what issue it was, but like they let the fans like they put in the what was it, the last page.
Yeah.
They put like
Decide Jason Todd's fate.
you-
Called this number for yes. Called this number for no.
and more people called the
That's
kill
so-
number, which is hilarious.
Because most comic book readers are probably have your opinion on this. Like,
Well, back then, yeah.
it's Jason Todd, right? Who cares?
Because at that point there was a lot of people.
We
who-
want Dick Grayson back. Like,
Yeah. Which I think leaving Dick Grayson wasn't the problem. I think part of their problem was they had to adjust Jason Todd
right.
twice because
Mhm.
beforehand he was a copy of Dick
Yeah.
Grayson. Before
Yeah.
He
Infinite
was
Crisis,
just blonde.
he wasn't even blonde. Oh yeah, he was. He dyed his
he,
hair.
Yeah.
he was blonde. He was a
Mhm.
blonde gymnast.
And they had because at some point his hair ends up being black like Dick Grayson.
Yeah, but then they adjusted his character to be like a kid with a tough life who like was
Yeah.
trying to steal the
the
lug nuts off
Batmobile,
of,
right?
No, he's
The-
trying to
the way
steal the
he's-
lug nuts off of the Batmobile.
He was trying to steal the tires.
Oh, he's trying to steal his tires?
Because you got to remove the lug. You got to.
You gotta
the
take
tire
those
off.
off to get the tire.
Yeah, I know, but
He was trying to steal
I'm
something
flipping both
off
of
the
them
Batman.
off.
He was trying to steal something,
I'm
off the
flipping both of them
Batmobile.
off.
and then Batman was like, "You're mine now."
Which I kind of enjoyed that origin story.
Right, better
It's a-
than the original for sure.
Yeah, originally,
Yeah.
he was literally copy and paste Dick Grayson, which is a
exactly.
lot of reason why I think the readership of the time when deciding Jason Todd's fate were like, we're never going to like him.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go a little bit further because all the people who would have been old enough to be like, wow, this character's new and cool,
Right.
were really young, and they're not the ones calling in.
Mhm.
It's the dudes that were reading comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like part of it was like, around what time was Jason Todd a thing?
Was that late 80s into the early 90s, and then Tim Drake became the 90s Robin.
Okay.
Which is my favorite Robin and a lot of people's favorite.
Well, yeah,
Robin.
because he's like
He's easily probably my favorite one as Robin because of the animated series.
I was about to say that he's my favorite Robin, but he's like, I don't like him more than like I don't like Red Robin more than Nightwing. You know, I don't like
Right,
They're
'cause
adult forms, I guess. Like,
Nightwing is it's Dick Grayson.
yeah, he's cool. He's awesome.
what's y'all's opinion on Damian Wayne?
I like him.
I mean, like,
It's controversial to say that, and I hate that.
I think he was a really cool concept. Like, he's a cool character, but like, I don't like him in Injustice. Like,
Yeah, and Injustice, I feel like I don't like him because of like what they do with him. Like, he's a bad guy.
right.
It's like how much. I don't know how much further to expand on that. In
Oh
that
yeah,
game.
he's like bad Nightwing, right?
Yeah, well, because he kills Dick Grayson.
Yeah, he even takes his suit, and it's really kind of creepy.
Yeah, he kills Dick Grayson
I think it's because he has
and becomes the new
father
Nightwing.
issues. Like, I think it literally comes down to that. It's like, oh, you want me to be like him.
Well, and there's always
What if I kill him and take his suit? What am I then?
well with Damian Wayne, there's always been that drama
Rivalry.
between Dick and
Yeah, that,
himself.
Yeah,
that went
because he's the
away
fir-
relatively recently.
Yeah. Well,
Except for the Jason Todd stuff. Him and Jason Todd still don't get along.
yeah.
well, and I only think that like it, but there's that conflict
Which is
because it's
which
like
is funny because him and Jason Todd are like in terms of demeanor, kind of like more alike.
I don't think they are.
Are they? I mean, because they're
'Cause
both really angry.
They're really angry, but I feel like they're still more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Because Jason Todd's much more of, I have a mission,
right.
and you have Damian.
Damian,
who's-
yeah.
At his start was like, I'm here to join my father.
Right.
Why don't you kill?
Why
You're
don't-
weak. And Jason Todd even was like, dang kid, you need to like
Chill.
sit down, eat a burger or something.
Right.
Eat some french fries. Talk to Alfred. Alfred will help you.
Well, so back to
that's
Gotham
what happened.
Knights. What is your predictions on the game? Like, obviously I think a lot of the thing is that people believe Batman to be dead.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the ending of the game is he's not actually dead.
Okay.
I think that's going to be right off the bat. What's funny is I've been following the leaks for this game for so long
Mm-hmm.
that people still thought it was going to be in the Arkham series.
So who's the Robin in this game? Is it Tim Drake?
No, it's Damian.
So there's
Wait,
Nightwing.
isn't it Damian?
Well,
I
this is
think-
where I'm confused. Like, there's Nightwing, there's Red Hood, and there's Batgirl. So like, if the timing, it would be Tim Drake as Robin.
It should be Tim
like-
Drake,
But
but I think they're steering away from Tim Drake because he was the main Robin in the past Arkham
What kind of
series.
makes me mad is like, why the hell are they making the Suicide Squad game in the Arkham universe whenever the Gotham Knights fits so well right after the events of Arkham Knight?
I think technically because it's cleaner narrative-wise, as well as because it's two different studios.
It doesn't make sense though.
It does make sense when you take into account it's two different studios. It doesn't make sense when you take into account the art style is too similar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is
That's
true.
my biggest problem.
well,
Yeah.
let's see. I guess we can move on to the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, perfect segue.
Right. I'm really excited for it. I wasn't as excited for it until I saw the Suicide Squad, the movie, and then I'm like, wow, this might actually be good. But I don't know. People
When
might.
I saw that first trailer, I knew it's like, well, crap, getting this game.
Well, because like Brainiac is like taking over the Justice League. That's kind of like the thing, right?
Yeah, and it says the Justice League. That's the thing that gets me. It's
Suicide
not
Squad
just
kills the
Superman.
Justice League.
You were fighting the
Bat-
Justice League.
You were fighting Batman. You're Wonder Woman. Like,
well, not Batman.
Yeah, maybe not Batman. Because he's quote unquote,
Dead.
yeah.
oh.
When if
Or
you
maybe
played
this
at
is
the end
bef-
of Arkham Knight, he's not dead.
Well, yeah, but
He's Batman.
yeah,
he's Batman.
he's
It's just to the Justice League. He is not.
living.
Yeah.
Well, and the only person we saw in the trailer was Superman.
Yeah.
So like,
If you're fighting the top dog, Superman, who else is there? You're gonna have to fight Wonder Woman,
do you so
possibly.
a thing I've been thinking about recently since the Suicide Squad came out? Do you think they're gonna change King Shark at all, or do you think it's too late?
I think it's probably too late.
Like, 'cause people, that was one thing about that movie. Everyone fell in love with Nanaue, like that version of King Shark, like. And then we're gonna get another new version of King Shark. I mean, it's probably
Yeah, this is another new version of King Shark, which is also funny because there's an Arkham Universe movie that came out a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And that had King Shark in it, and it was a
Mhm.
dude with a metal jaw.
yeah.
And they killed him off. Like his jaw got ripped off and
Good.
he died. Yeah, he was awful. But like I find it funny now that that movie is just out.
Well, like they've kind of screwed up the comics, like because I know what was it in the DLC, they had Barbara Gordon, like in that the
Oh, the
DLC,
Arkham Knight Barbara Gordon DLC,
yeah,
where she's
where
like in Funland.
in Funland, it messed up the Arkham game comic tie-in. And it just because Tim wasn't Robin until after she got her spine shot out.
I thought the Robin in that DLC was
Tim Drake. It was. Tim
I didn't
Drake.
think it was Tim Drake. I thought it was a different Robin.
It was Tim.
Okay. I thought it was a different Robin. I thought it was Todd.
Yeah. So it messed with the continuity.
These things happen.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with things after them being around for several years, Like even in TV shows that have gone on for 5 or 6 seasons, you notice loopholes and things.
Oh, you mean like The Simpsons where Lisa's had 2 birthdays where she turns 8?
And then what came to my mind immediately was The Office, specifically Andy's parents. His parents are all over the place the entire series. The first time we hear about his parents, I think there was a mention of secretaries. They're on Secretary's Day when he first started dating Erin. It was without secretaries, I wouldn't have a stepmom. And then later on, when it was the first time we saw his parents or mentioned his parents, or the first time we saw his parents, they were together, and they were there when he got engaged to Angela, and then his parents were separated, and his stepmom was his dad's secretary, and then they're married again in season 9. So and then they get divorced again at season 9. So I don't know. It was just continuity's hard apparently.
Yeah.
But so in this new game, Captain Boomerang can teleport.
That seems to be a weird trend
I
that
only
they want right now.
I think it's only to make him more fun to play as, because like the only thing fun about Captain Boomerang, in
Is
like a
his
video
boomerang.
game standpoint, is his banter potential.
I don't think that they needed to give him teleportation powers. I think if anything, they should have just made him basically the controls of Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Because ideally, in terms of working in the video game itself, there's no way that the Batarangs are that different in construction
Right.
to using the boomerangs.
Mm-hmm.
You literally could have used the same animations with just a different texture on them if you really want, well, a different sprite animation, whatever. Long story short, in consequence, they could have been basically the same.
Yeah. Well, and then Deadshot has a jetpack now.
Which I'm not going to argue with, because you need to do a little bit more to get him moving.
Right.
Because, like,
Well,
King Shark in that game is going to have super strength. He can jump up on the areas. I think that's the big reason why they also gave Captain Boomerang.
teleportation.
So that way he can get up to ledges. Because that's the
Right.
thing in those games made by Rocksteady is their movement.
And then Harley Quinn's just Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she's got her stuff that, like, they have had DLCs for her where she can get around. She has the mobility.
Right. So, there's Suicide Squad. I know you're really excited for Halo Infinite, but you're just a long-time Halo fan.
Yeah, I just love Halo.
So,
I'm along for the ride.
I don't know anything about Halo. Like, I haven't followed Halo since Halo 3. That's kind of when I, like, got out of there. I had Halo 4, but I just never really put any time into it.
There's few things in this world that I feel as deeply as Master Chief.
What are you excited for in this new?
To continue the
Game.
story, that the fact that it looks, even by trailer, it looks better than what we've gotten with the past 2 games. Like, Halo 4 was nowhere near as bad as Halo 5. But legitimately, I think it looks better than the first reveals for Halo 4. Not to mention the first reveals of Halo 4 also look different than what Halo 4 actually turned out to be, if I remember correctly. With this game, I'm excited to know, like, what happened, like, with the last trailer that they had. What happened to Cortana? Where is Cortana, this new AI? She was constructed, and then she was supposed to go away when the mission was over. Their mission was to destroy Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
She's still here, and supposedly Cortana's gone. Why is she still here? And then you have Chief. He was just floating around in space.
As he does.
Yeah, as he does.
Yeah.
At
He's
this
done
point,
that so many times.
he's basically a space parasite at this point.
It's Master Chief. Like, come on.
He doesn't die. Yeah. I remember watching the first reveal trailer, and then you just see him holding his helmet while standing on the Zeta ring.
In the series, have we seen who's under the?
Nope.
Still,
Nope. The closest you get
is
is
like
a
him,
whenever
crack
you,
in his.
him as a child.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of Halo 4,
whenever you see his like eye.
yeah,
right?
it's his... No. Even in Halo 5, when you crack his visor, when Locke cracks his
Mhm.
visor, you don't actually see in there.
Yeah.
He has not removed the helmet officially since he first donned it when he was like a
Really?
teenager.
I thought whenever you beat what was it, Halo 3 or Halo 4?
Halo 4,
Legendary Edition.
you don't actually see his eyes. That was the thing. It's like super dark. It starts to fade out. So you see like the highlight of the bridge of his nose.
So there's this. Halo's been around for so long, and we still don't know who's like what's under Master Chief's
And I
helmet.
don't
I think
want
they'll.
to.
I think
do
they'll
not
make.
want to.
What if he's ugly?
So what? He's Master Chief.
He just comes out looking like the.
What if he looks like the guy
mad,
from? What if he?
mad dude?
Alfred E. Newman.
Alfred E. Newman.
What if
yeah.
he looks like the guy from the Goonies?
Sloth.
Yeah. Hey, you guys.
Or he just comes out looking like Smithers. Smithers.
Smithers.
All right.
Cortana.
So
Bring out the hounds.
I want to talk about a game that is probably more important to me than it is either of you. God of War.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
We got some stuff. We've actually seen some character models for the new game. Atreus is like hit puberty now, and it's crazy.
He's 5 inches taller.
Kratos is just he's Kratos again. Like he's just
Atreus
boy.
is 5 inches taller and he talks like this now.
Well, see, like I would really like if I ever had the opportunity to audition as adult Atreus, I think that would work really good because one, I'm taller than Christopher Judge, which like he's half giant. His mom was a giant, so like he's half giant, so it makes sense. And then like I have a lower voice too, so there could be like a bass battle that Kratos always always seems to win, you know. So like I think that would be fun. That's my audition for. That's why I think I should be adult Atreus. Anyway, though, we get to see Freya. She's like she could actually. So a big part of the God of War 1 is that Odin stripped her warrior soul from her, so she can't harm anyone by blade or spell.
Yeah.
So, but like she's attacking Atreus and Kratos in the trailer, and I'm like,
wait, was there an actual trailer?
That's what I
God
think
of
so.
War, yeah.
Yeah.
I only saw the posters. I didn't know there was an actual trailer.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, there's a trailer of God of War.
Well,
Because there's
crap.
a part in the trailer where he's like, why are we doing this? Why can't we be trying to find out who Loki is? Like, Loki's you, boy. Like, come on. Like, your mom, that's just your Norse name.
I was gonna say that was also like pretty laid out before him. He's the one that read it out loud.
Right.
I-
And
Unless that
also,
was misunderstood.
I think I hope you get to be able to play as Atreus a little. And it's because in the first one, he's just your little boy pet, you know?
Yeah, he's a pet character.
Yeah, he's like Ellie in Last of Us 1.
You go tell him to do something and he does it.
Right. And I hope there's like points in this where you get to like he like figures out how to shapeshift.
It'd be nice if he was able to like do more stuff like that, more magical stuff.
Right. Well, because like that's who Loki is. He's a shapeshifting. Hopefully, he doesn't get into like actual Loki mythology stuff, like and get all
Oh,
weird
you
on
mean-
us.
Oh.
Get all weird
what's-
on us.
What's the YouTube safe word?
Frisky.
That's too nice. That implies consent. Unconsensual sex with a horse.
With many animals,
Yeah,
And-
snakes, horses.
I want to see if like
Somehow
if they
creating
because the
death
world
incarnate.
the world serpent in mythology is Loki's son.
Yeah, I think they're also just kind of dishing it out so that way they didn't have to focus on it too much.
Well, like I'm really excited, and then we get to see Thor.
Yeah, accurate representation of Thor.
Everyone like Thor's player model is really controversial right now, just because he doesn't look like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, people are freaking out, and it's like you
Everyone's
should know
like,
that in mythology he's a big fat guy.
Why isn't he buff and hot? Because he's
not. That's actually a thing about a lot of Norse mythology is
And people are like, "Why is he fat?" And I'm like, "If you touch his stomach, that stuff's gonna be rock hard, man."
Fat Thor is accurate. Fat Thor, that's who he is. He's a
Right.
big fat ginger dude with long hair
Well,
and a
because in mythology, it was often talked about how Thor could eat like so much food that like he'd eat out of town like of food. You
beard.
know?
Yeah, he could
Yeah.
eat an entire township's worth of food.
Right. Like that's in mythology. Like
The man likes to eat.
right. And I want to see if we get flashbacks of his fight with that giant that you get that has the chisel in his head through his head in the first game. I want to see if we get flashbacks to where like Thor just throws the chisel through his head. I want to see that. I want to see more Mimir banter. I love Mimir, the little head that hangs
Yeah.
on his
Yeah.
butt. I freaking love Mimir. He's probably honestly one of my favorite characters of the first game. I want to see how like because you know like when you go back to the house in the first game and he's like who are you, and then he just flips back his cloak and then there's Thor's hammer sitting there.
Yeah.
I want to see if like they like you get to see what happens after that, or if they just go in a different direction and be like, hey, that actually didn't happen.
I'm curious if that's what they'll do, especially seeing how Atreus looks older now.
Right. So like
Because they just killed off Thor's sons.
Thor's son's his brother.
Yeah.
Like Baldur was like kind of the main villain of that whole game. The man who cannot be killed, as Mimir puts it.
And Kratos kills him.
And then Kratos kills him. Well, because those arrows that Sindri gives. How did Sindri get a hold of those for one? But like Sindri gives him those arrows, which is Baldur's only weakness. And in the game, he asks Mimir what his weakness is, and then like Freya like blocked his weakness from his memory, and it was those arrows. So, and there was that little arrowhead that Kratos used to fix Atreus's quiver at like very early on in the game. Like that's before you even make it to the Black Breath for the first time, I think. Maybe. I might be wrong on that. Also, it's been a while since I played that game. I'm going to replay that game before before I get the new one for sure.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a 60-hour game, it's crazy. Bless you.
Thank you.
What game do you want to move? We're at 42 minutes.
I'm curious about God of War
Zion,
5 here.
Get your leg out of my side.
If
Thank
they
you.
will make Thor's hammer glow like it does in mythology.
Well, I love how it looks.
Like cherry white.
Right. I love how they make it look, you know. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on Reddit being like, "Why does it look like that?"
It's because that's what the symbolism of it is.
Like, come on, guys, you're just It's not Chris Hemsworth. It's not Marvel. It's Norse mythology. It's what it's actually supposed to look like.
It's supposed to look like a boat hammer.
Right. It's meant to. So, like, the whole of Thor's hammer is like it's as mighty of a tool as it is a weapon.
Yeah. So
like,
I mean, it's a little more artistic than it should be, but so what?
Right.
That comes down to video game.
Mm-hmm.
Thor's hammer in the comics and movies doesn't look like how it should.
Mm.
It should look like a boat hammer from the Scandinavian regions of the world from
Rather than a
the
hunk
year
of
800.
a brick of metal on top of a stick.
Yeah.
Hell, the 1980s Thor did the 1980s Thor in the Incredible Hulk cartoon did a better job.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
In the original Hulk TV show where he
Yeah,
ran
was
into a
like-
room and then ran back out, like where his hammer was like on a big pole, like it was kind of like a sledgehammer type thing.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
I
with
don't
that,
either.
though.
Well, I thought it was like a smaller hammer, right?
I thought it was a little longer. Than
I thought it
a
was like
one-handed.
it was like a sledgehammer type hammer,
Hold up.
like
It's
style.
been a while since I've seen it.
It wasn't a sledgehammer, but it was on like that style, like a longer handle.
I remember the handle being a little longer than like a one-handed.
Right. Well, and see, like I'm really excited to see Thor. I'm glad to see that he's ginger.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
Like,
a ginger.
yeah.
He's not blonde.
Right. I'm happy to see that he's
Just
ginger.
big old ginger with his gut hanging out.
Right, and I love that. They haven't released an Odin character card. I'm going to call it a character card because that's what it reminds me of. They haven't released an Odin one yet.
They're
so
gonna have to fight Odin,
I'm curious if we even see Odin in this game because
or they get a reveal that Odin's been dead for a while because Zeus killed him.
maybe
Because that was a thing that like there's a power vacuum because Zeus is dead.
Well, that was the original plan for God of War 3 was that he kills Zeus and all these other gods filter in trying to fill that power void. So who knows?
yeah.
And I'm kind of curious because in the first game they hinted a lot about the Japanese gods and Egyptian gods also existed in the same universe. So I'm kind of see if they build on that more or if they hold off for a third game or even maybe a fourth
they're not.
game.
They're in the Norse trilogy. It will end with Ragnarok.
Yeah, the Norse saga will end.
But like whenever they'll probably move on to like
That's what we're saying. I think
Okay.
that's what Gary just said. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was
Like the that's how you say it, duology. That's going to end with the Norse stuff. Like the Norse
Yeah.
saga is going to end, and they're going to move on to a new area.
Mhm.
And I think if anything, they'll probably go to Egypt before they go to Japan.
Well, so the original plan for God of War 3 was what I said, but also that when those other gods filtered in to fill the power vacuum of Zeus, that he was going to find out that he had other religion, he had like other versions of himself in the other religion, like kinds of things.
In the other pantheons, there's other
versions of Kratos.
other
And they
gods of war.
They were gonna team up and and see we get to see Tyr, the god of war of Norse mythology. We heard a lot about him and they talked about him a lot in the first game, and we actually got a player card of him, a player poster of him now. But we get to see Tyr. They talked about him so much in the first game, so I'm glad we actually get to put a face on what he looks like. I kind of want them to. They talked about giants a lot in the first game, and we actually got to see a lot of them dead at the end of it. But I don't think that was all of them.
I think they're going to insinuate that there's probably a few of them left. But I think this is going to focus on the gods.
Hopefully. A lot more than the last game, because the last game basically focused on one god,
Yeah,
which was Boulder.
Yeah, the relationship between Kratos and Atreus was the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that game a lot because I love the first God of War. I love the whole God of War series, but the first and like this saga of God of War. Like there's the whole Greek saga, and then there's the new stuff. I really hope they build more on like the fact that there's other gods.
Yeah.
Like more gods other than the Norse and Greeks. Like I really think that will be cool. Like imagine him fighting like Horus one day.
I'd love to see him fight
Right.
Horus.
That'd be awesome.
Just a giant falcon flying through the sky, sweeping down on them.
That'd be dope. But I've always loved God of War, and you know, I always describe myself before I had a PlayStation. I'm the biggest God of War fan that doesn't own a PlayStation. Like,
yeah.
But now I own PlayStation, and I do plan to get a PS5 over the Xbox X Series. So,
Wyatt, not so much.
It's hard. It's hard for me to choose.
well, because you're so attached to Halo, and I get that. Because
and if I have a PC, I can continue to play Halo.
Are they releasing the new Halo on PC?
That's what I'm pretty sure the plan is.
Yeah, they
because
are.
if you have like the Xbox stuff through your PC,
Well, see, that's
You
how
can-
I play Sea of Thieves with you, or with you on
Right.
there, as I have it
if you
through
do that,
Xbox.
you can play Microsoft exclusives,
Well, that's dope.
which means you could also play like the new Bethesda games that might become exclusives.
Hmm.
Which was really funny
Yeah.
online to see people flip out. They're like, next Outer Scrolls is going to be an Xbox exclusive. It's like, yeah, it's like they bought the company or something.
Right. A game we haven't talked about yet that I know we all want to is PlayStation announced a Wolverine game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have a
dude.
lot of games that
I want
we
it.
haven't even touched on yet.
it.
Well, see,
We don't
I
even
just
have any
wanna,
information on Wolverine yet.
right. We just got a teaser, and it's not even actual gameplay. It's just the announcement video, basically.
You just get a few seconds. Shink.
Shink.
That's it.
So, like, what are your predictions? Who's the villain? Like, what is going on? Like, what is gonna happen in this?
I don't think.
Do you
it's-
think?
I think
I
it's too
really-
early to tell.
I really hope it's gonna be like, since it's made by Sony and Insomniac, which is who makes Spider-Man. I really hope they have like different suits you can wear. Like
I'm
in
sure
Spider-Man.
they're gonna have
Like,
different outfits.
I think that'll be
skins.
dope. Like the black and not the black, the normal yellow and blue suit is gonna be in there, and then the first appearance suit's probably gonna be in there.
Yeah, I want the first appearance where it looks super weird, like a luchador.
Right, right.
My
very
thing is
first.
though, like it'll have to be linear. Won't it? Like it would have to be a linear experience because I mean, where would you go with Wolverine free roam?
Lots of places.
I mean,
Do you think that? Well, like he looks all gruff and old. So do you think we're gonna be looking at like this is gonna be an old man Logan game?
No, I think
I
it's
think
just
they've
normal
like.
Wolverine.
I think that. I think
don't
they've
know.
kind of exhausted Old Man Logan.
That's what I'm saying. So like I hope it's not an old man Logan game, because we kind of closed the chapter in like mainstream media with Old Man Logan with Logan, the movie, and at least in my opinion, you know, like
I think all that did was expose it to people.
you think
Like more people were like, "Wait, Wolverine's old?" It's like, "Good job, you're piecing it together." Yeah, he
well,
is.
see, Old Man Logan is like kind of like my least favorite version of Wolverine, because I like Wolverine as like a middle-aged, gonna rip your head off, like just like vicious, and like he's not old and gruff, like short, like
I
short
like
people, you know.
the beauty of the idea and the philosophy that comes with
Yeah.
Old Man Wolverine. It's a beautiful clothes.
I like the
not clothes. Clothing.
It is
to
a beautiful clothes.
yes, I agree.
The man does have a nice coat.
But I just love when Wolverine's with the X-Men. That's my favorite version of him.
Yeah.
I like when he's with the X-Men and he's just doing his old thing
I'd
with the X-Men.
the one thing I do want to see is Wolverine and Deadpool. That's all I want to see. Is just them interact.
And I feel like that's probably. I feel like we're at some point they're probably going to cross Wolverine with Spider-Man because they have him in the same
Yep.
little game universe.
I
Assuming
agree.
the same game universe.
I agree with that. Because well, it's kind of too like convenient that it's made by Insomniac and it's a Sony exclusive as well.
Right. It'd be dumb not for them to be in the same universe in a way. Especially there's an Avengers Tower.
Right, there's an Avengers Tower. But speaking of the Avengers, Spider-Man is going to be put into the Avengers game soon on a
Yeah.
Sony exclusive.
In that
On-
game universe.
He's gonna be put in that soon. I forget, but like they're like Spidey exclusive. Like they have like a tab for it on the Avengers game now, and so
it should have came out a year ago.
right. Because I remember hearing about it forever ago, and then instead
when the game was announced,
we got Kate Bishop and Hawkeye as
like
DLCs.
that's not that bad, but still, even Hank Pym was announced at one point. I don't even think he's in the game.
No, he's not yet. He was in like the trailers
Before the game came out.
Right.
He was the first additional character.
Hank Pym's in the game.
I haven't seen anybody play him.
Yeah, he's a part. He made like the Resistance type deal.
But can you play him?
I don't think he's
because
Ant-Man.
that was a thing that you could play him. I thought.
I don't know if you can play him.
I don't think, and maybe he's not Ant-Man yet.
He's old. He's been Ant-Man.
Yeah,
he's just like
this would be like leading.
I think like the corporation that like in the game that screwed people up and made them not able to become superheroes or like become metahuman or whatever the hell the term is in the game. Took away made his body like changed his body to the point where it couldn't do the transformation anymore. That's what I remember from the story because I just watched someone play it. I didn't play it myself.
I got the game for free on PC and didn't play it much. And then I bought the game on sale for my PlayStation. Didn't play much. It's not, and that's another game that let me down at least. I was expecting something way different. Like, especially because it was like following up Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, cool, open world Avengers game.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It seemed like it was marketed as an open world thing. And it's not exactly open world.
It's like technically, but like it's not really, you know? Like
it's like they chose the mission select system from Destiny and none of
which
the other
I
things
do not
from
like.
Destiny.
I don't like that kind of mission select.
You don't like that?
Something where you have to like go to a central
it
tower.
felt like a Lego game, but not a Lego game.
Well,
I think Destiny does it pretty all right. I don't mind Destiny. I quite like
something where like I didn't like it where you had to like go to like to the center console to like go on missions. Like I was just like, let me fly there. Let me go there and like.
Well, it's like receiving an assignment from somebody. It's not much different than an RPG.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I was thinking like kind of like Spider-Man or like a Red Dead thing where like you had an open world and then like you just went to this part of the world for the mission, you know. So like I don't know. It just I was expecting more than what I got. You know?
Different experience,
right? And
what seemed to be marketed versus what was sold.
Exactly. So, yeah.
I was gonna say there's a few games coming that I'm really excited for. There's even like some I don't even know if I'll play them, like Kerbal Space Program 2. I heard
that they're coming out with a sequel to that game.
There's a game called Black Myth. It's going to be about Sun Wukong, who's like he's a literary character.
Oh.
Or he's been featured in literary works from China.
Isn't a new Uncharted coming out?
There's something with Uncharted. It's like a remaster of one of the older games.
It's a Uncharted I think a collection.
And there's a new pirate game coming out called Skull and Bones.
I've seen that. Awesome. That looks awesome, yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2. There's Kojima has a project that he's working on. And then there's Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
What?
It's Super Smash.
But with Nickelodeon characters?
But Nickelodeon.
So is like Danny Phantom going to be in there? Like Timmy Turner?
They just unveiled recently that Cat Dog is a character that you can play as.
Oh.
No, Zion, no cat. No. You said it's trigger word, man.
Hey, I can't help it if that's their name.
But so, and I also heard there's been rumors about the people who make Mortal Kombat and Injustice making a Marvel version of that game.
I don't know if that'll happen.
Yeah, it's been rumored like recently. It's been like it's probably been rumored for a while, but like I've been hearing about it more and more.
Because Capcom has the grip on Marvel fighting games. NetherRealm is completely owned by Warner Brothers.
Mm.
That'd be like Disney being like, "Here, take it, just do it." It's like
we know Disney's
can't see it happen.
Do that.
Yeah, they'd make their own development company before they do that. They'd try buying Warner Brothers before they do that. At this point, I'd hate that, but I would trust them more than AT&T, who's already trying to sell off Warner Brothers.
Really?
So they're trying to sell it to Discovery, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
So it's like because one, I don't care as long as it's not in AT&T's hands anymore because they basically laid off a bunch of the DC workers, and the highest person left at DC is Jim Lee.
Oh,
like,
that's not good.
You guys, seriously, like, I love Jim Lee. Don't get me wrong, but here, this is what you've done. You have gutted DC because you. There's a long list of things I could get into, and we're gonna touch on. It would touch on another specific person you guys told me not to lay off of for a while because it's literally
silence.
No. I'm serious when I say
talk.
It comes back to that. The problem where they're gutting DC comes back to that they couldn't make the movies that they wanted. They couldn't get the revenue that they wanted.
Right.
They wanted an Avengers movie like that level, but they couldn't get a director who could deliver.
Pull it off.
So they were like, let's get this guy, and it didn't work. Hi, Zion.
Shove him off of you, man. Like,
hey, just sit down. There you go. Good boy.
What was I gonna say? So, like, have you noticed that the best DC movie that to come out to date was
not directed by him?
Not directed, but directed by a guy who is already successful at Marvel. So, like,
wait, which movie are you talking about?
The guy who directed The Suicide Squad directed Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that one. Okay, I thought you were talking about like Joker and Shazam and Aquaman.
Oh no,
I was about to say if you say Joss Whedon, I'm a stop.
I meant in like
yeah.
I meant DCEU like universe stuff.
Right.
I was
That's
about to
once
say-
again that's still like all those stuff, and I wasn't thinking like, oh yeah, Joker's not in the DCU.
Yeah,
I forget that sometimes. Not
I
gonna
hope
lie.
I hope they integrate him with what the new boy, pretty boy.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, thank you.
I'm hoping they just hire a new Joker with an accomplished actor, like someone that's on the level of Joaquin Phoenix but isn't him. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because I feel like it would be disingenuous to cross him over.
But like
He's built up his own personality in a specific universe, and I think changing that will negate and cheapen what came before. Like, the experience still exists from first watching the movie, but what comes after will never be as good if you cross it with something. It's in a pure untainted. That's why I don't think a sequel should happen.
didn't he cause in that movie? Didn't he, or like at least we were supposed to believe that he caused the Waynes to be shot, like that whole riot,
The mass chaos of the city, people killing the rich.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a while. I should probably rewatch that. So what about games that haven't been announced that you would like to see? Because I have a game that I would really like to see that has not even been announced, hasn't even been talked about yet. Do you guys have any of that?
There's something that it's been announced and that's it. No details.
What is it?
Indiana Jones.
Okay.
And it's being worked on over at Bethesda, but by the specific subdivision that made Wolfenstein.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, I trust these guys. They're going to do a good job about a game fighting Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do a great job with that.
Yeah.
Beside that, I don't know how the game's going to be. I'm hoping it's good.
Well, so a game that I'd really like to see that has not been announced yet, at least to my understanding, is a third Red Dead game, but you get to follow Dutch when he was younger. That's what I'd like to see. So that's a game that I would like to see in the future. Like, I don't know, just follow Dutch and see Hosea and Dutch and maybe Arthur as like a teenager at like age, or something like that, or maybe even before Arthur even joined the gang. So we would be doing like a 20-year jump ahead of Red Dead Redemption 2. And I think that's what they're going to do because they kind of have nowhere to go unless we have a game about Jack and like his adventures after John dies.
Or even like new characters. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, so I thought of this because I just replayed the whole game again for like the third time. There's these two kids that show Arthur around Saint Denis when you first get to Saint Denis in Red Dead 2, and there's these two kids, I forget their names, but I was like, what about if we get a game that follows them around, and like it'd be like cool because like there's such a minor part in Red Dead 2, but like, you know, they're just two kids living in the city that like can grow up and be like outlaws or something cool.
I think it'd be funny if Red Dead and, you know, GTA are basically the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be funny if they build up and have more games that are just in between everything.
Well, so there's those
like from Red Dead to GTA. What if they just have this 1920s and 30s mobster era of game?
Well, so there was that.
Didn't Rockstar make what is it? Or was it just like there's the
He's talking about the.
L.A. Noire?
Oh, L.A. Noire. I thought. Did they work on that?
I think they did.
I thought you were talking about. What was that game that just got remade?
Mafia?
Mafia. I thought that's
No,
what you were talking
no,
about.
they didn't make Mafia.
That's kind of like that gap, though. Is that like that the
I
time
would,
period
I'd
you're talking
love
about?
To see, yeah, that nice 20s, 30s through 40s time period.
I just love the and you're saying that the whole West and like there's that whole Easter egg where the kid with the birthmark over his eye that you could help his mom out in Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And like that's a whole like clan of people, and like GTA 5 is that they're led to be like believed to be time travelers or whatever.
Or the birthmark guy was a time traveler, and then there's also a sun worshipping cult.
Yes.
And you find the dude that started that cult like on a cliff or something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so they are in the same universe. What if Trevor just gets sent back in time to Red Dead days?
It'd be funny if
That'd
they
be
made
funny.
like a game that takes place like on the back scenes of everything. It's this ancient order that fights monsters.
That'd be cool.
Because there's ghosts, there's aliens, there's Frankenstein monster horrible creations.
Uh-huh.
And the thing it stops it is one time traveling savior that also stopped the zombie apocalypse because he fixes the possibility of what could have been
Right.
with Red Dead zombies.
So honestly, we probably will get a version of Red Dead Zombies for Red Dead Redemption 2 before anything else happens.
Definitely. At least I hope so.
And I think we'll get a new Red Dead game before we get a GTA 6, honestly.
I'd believe
To
it.
be completely honest with you, I think there'll be a Red Dead 3 before GTA 6. I hope to be proven wrong because GTA Online, I never really played the GTA story, but I put a lot of hours in on GTA Online.
GTA 6 reminded me of the next big thing.
What is it?
Everyone's all-time favorite, coming back, Elder Scrolls
Oh.
5.
I thought you were going to talk about Lego.
Skyrim
I thought you were going to
Special
talk about Lego
Edition.
Star Wars. I was like, oh.
Back again, and everybody still hates that. They're just re-releasing it. Just like GTA 5.
Yep.
Everybody's 10 years later, 11 years later, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Buy it again.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Well, and then Lego. We haven't even talked about that, Connor.
Lego
Star
Star
Wars. The complete saga.
No.
Or the Skywalker saga.
Don't.
The complete saga.
saga.
The complete
it's
saga.
basically the complete saga part 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
The complete saga plus the sequels. With updated lightsaber graphics.
And
Updated
mechanics.
everything.
I'm excited for. I know how I'd probably put over 1,000 hours on that game when I was a kid.
That's one game that if they delay it, it's fine. It's because they're making it better.
That was probably the first game I ever put 1,000 hours on.
I was gonna
And
say,
I've only done that probably like 3 times in my entire life.
Who's putting that out? I don't remember.
TNT Games
I
or
thought
Traveler's Tales.
I thought they went
Telltale.
under.
No. You're thinking about Telltale. Traveler's Tales is the
They're still going?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of thought that they were one and the same, like parent company wise.
no.
Mm.
Okay. Because I just know that that's the whole reason why Wolf Among Us 2 is pushed off.
I just hope they
The
don't.
ending
Try,
of the Walking Dead games got pushed off, but Wolf Among Us 2, that's coming.
I just hope they don't try to do too much with it.
Lego Star Wars?
Yeah. I hope it's just like old time Lego games. Like you just get in, and you get out, and you're good.
I'm thinking that's probably what it's going to be because there's not much more you can do. Like
When you could aim in this one, which is
that doesn't
weird.
change much to me.
I don't. But like you remember how hard it was to shoot the little targets in in Lego Complete Saga?
you
Like
just had to be just right.
how much of a pain that was. Like.
I think they're just updating it with the stuff that they've done from like the Batman games.
Mm-hmm. I hope they learn
Hope we
from
get
the
another
Lego
one of those
Star Wars
soon.
game. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to us talk about video games we are excited for in the future and video games that at the end there, we want to come out in the future. So the secret word today is, Wyatt, what's the secret word?
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
Just like the classic Scream everyone at Lucasfilm loves.
Ah!
Connor put the scream in. So we'll thank you all so much for coming along for the journey. So we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.